ever felt like you or someone you know is constantly coughing or sneezing? They would say, my sinuses are acting up. Or, I don't know what I touched today, but I've just been itchy all over. Or, my stomach is so upset right now after I ate that banana. But something to consider is that when a cough isn't just a cough, a sneeze or a rash aren't just that, it could possibly be allergies. An allergy is where your body reacts to something that's normally harmless, like pollen, dust, or animal fur. The symptoms can be mild, but for some people, they can be very serious. So serious that they may cause death. While it is rare to die from an allergic reaction, statistics suggest 2% of all cases result in a loss of life. Allergies may not seem all that serious, but they actually have a huge impact on not only the individual's quality of life, but the economy as well. In the United States of America, where statistics are readily available, one study says that hay fever alone causes nearly 4 million missed workdays each year, costing businesses more than $700 million in lost productivity. There are many types of allergies, and how they cause reactions will vary per individual. In the coming weeks, we will be running a series on allergies with allergologist Dr. Chris Masigara at the Allergy Center. First, we understand what allergies are through an all-encompassing discussion with the doctor, followed by shorter segments on seasonal allergies, food allergies, allergies to animal fur, and lastly, allergies to man-made substances. Doctor, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We are talking today about allergies. So before we go any further, please start off first by explaining to us what an allergy is and what causes it.
When we usually talk about allergies, we're talking about a reaction that can happen in response to you being exposed to something. We usually get a set of symptoms. It could be itching, it could be swelling, it could be vomiting, it could be diarrhea. Different people, different things. What we know is, for example, if we come from a family where allergies are prevalent, you are more likely to develop allergies. If you also come from a family where you are likely to develop severe allergies, we know that you can also develop very severe allergies. But also severe allergies, we usually get those in response to foods, and the most common ones are fish, peanuts, wheat. Those are the ones that usually give people very bad allergic reactions. The other group is obviously things we see in the hospital that the general public usually doesn't see, to medications.
Speaking of severe allergic reactions, what can cause somebody to have one? I believe it's called anaphylaxis.
So like we said, some people are just more sensitive than others. For example, I could get a bee sting and nothing happens to me. You could get a similar bee sting and you swell, your throat closes, you have difficulty breathing, you develop asthma symptoms. We can't tell just by looking at you, but we just know that some people are just more sensitive than others. But like I said, certain things usually give very bad allergic reactions. Like for example, like I said, if you're allergic to certain foods, fish, peanuts, eggs, and medications. Those are the things that we see giving people very bad allergic reactions. Most times it's in your DNA. If you've had your mother had maybe anaphylaxis at some point, or your brother or your father, it is also likely going to happen to you. Again, the other thing that increases the risk is continued exposure. Yeah. For example, we know that people that work as beekeepers, if they get repeated stings, they can get a fatal reaction to the next sting.
Let's speak more on anaphylaxis or severe reaction to an allergen, but specifically on the fatal anaphylaxis side. Various studies have been done to understand fatal anaphylaxis. but not much has come from that to understand what causes it, because firstly, they're rare, but mostly because they're unpredictable. What is it about fatal anaphylaxis that makes it so unpredictable?
Well, like I've said, it's rare, and also it happens usually when we're not expecting it, and also it can be fatal because, number one, you're not expecting it. Then number two, we delay in instituting treatment. Maybe because you don't know what's going on. You think maybe it's a little itch. You think your throat is closing, but maybe you'll be fine. And then it progresses quickly until your throat is closed. Maybe your heart has stopped, and you can't breathe. It is for people that have had anaphylaxis but have had access to care real quick. They usually don't die. But those who don't have access to care real quick usually can succumb to that.
So, doctor, do allergies get better with age? Like, the older I get, do I outgrow them, or do they get worse?
We usually apply a 30-30-30 rule to it. 30% of people by the time they're 10 years old, nothing at all. The other 30% by the time they are in their teens, 20s, early adulthood, everything goes. And then the other 30 usually take it on to old age. Yeah. But for most people, they do improve. What is also interesting, what we are finding with studies now, is that people who live in rural areas, they get very few allergies. But many of us who live in urban centers where it's clean, where it's too clean, where we're getting it, there's also lots of pollution, too many cars, there's increased levels of allergies. So we think it is both environmental and both genes. So if your environment is like what we live here in gaps, we are spending too much time indoors, our kids don't get to play outside, get to experience many things early. They're more prone to developing allergies than kids who live in Tutume or in Parakarungu. Those kids have very strong immune system because of the exposure to a lot of things early.
Can allergies be prevented? Like, as a parent, can one ensure that the child can never develop any allergies? Or as an adult, is there something that I can do to avoid being allergic to stuff?
Not 100%, but you can reduce the risk. Like I said, we're beginning to find with science that what we do early to our kids, for example, if we expose our kids to a lot of things early, go to the kettle post, play outside, eat this, eat that early, the risk of allergies goes down. But if we isolate our kids early, they don't get to play outside, they don't get to experience a lot of things outside. We use too many chemicals, too many cleaning chemicals, harsh soaps, too many antibiotics. You increase the risk of developing allergies. But if you allow your child to be, if you allow yourself to participate in this world, do anything, go anywhere, eat anything, whatever early, you reduce your risk of allergies. Don't use too many chemicals. Don't use too many spices. Don't use too many things that are not natural.
This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?